How's it going, everybody? So I'm sad to say this is the last Wheeler Crit of 2017. So yeah, there's quite a few of us. We wanted to kind of start in the back because there was so many folks, but I went ahead and decided to take off solo, so I kind of just edited this part out because I had my hands hanging over in front of the camera for a while. So yeah, it was definitely a bunch of fast guys out there today, so it was definitely one of the harder, faster Wheeler Crits I think of the year. So it was definitely a nice kind of a nice, fun, action-packed ending to the Wheeler race series. So like that might have been Stefan there that kind of just took off, but a lot of the guys were wearing Midtown Optical kits, so it's kind of maybe a little weird. Sometimes it's hard to tell who is who, but I kind of, you kind of just go off their bikes and such. So anyways, we're just kind of not necessarily rolling along. It's getting pretty animated, but yeah, Stefan took off, and then it's like Rob kind of went after him there, and so it was just didn't get rolling too hard. It took a little bit, but we chased him down in a few laps or so. But yeah, it was the weather and everything was pretty much about as perfect as you can get it. Last 2 weeks it's been rained out, or we were actually went out there, we were all the races got finished up, and then we were getting ready to do our race, and weather just cloudy. It looked like it was going to rain later in the evening, but then it just swarmed the track, and before we got going it just poured, and so everybody just kind of had to scramble out of there. So I don't know, but right here it's Chad had been pulling, and so it's kind of like he pulled off, and I don't know, I kind of just pulled through, and I didn't really think I was going too hard or anything, but nobody really had another little gap here for a while, so I just kind of went with it. Thought about trying to chase down Rob and Stefan, but it eventually just kind of came all back together. It would be difficult on this evening, the way everybody with the riding styles and everything, which was super aggressive, for really anybody to get away like you would see at a typical Wheeler Crit. So yeah, but it was like I say, definitely a lot of people there racing and just kind of hanging out and stuff. So I think it's kind of always the atmosphere that was out there is kind of what they always try to aim for or whatever. So it was really a fun atmosphere, just kind of hanging out and stuff, and lots of kids hanging out playing and whatever. So yeah, just rolling along. It's like we're definitely starting to kind of pick it up now. I think we're it didn't take long for guys to start getting dropped, and it's pretty fast. I think we averaged overall right at 20, or I did. Basically, kind of long story short, there was 4 guys that ended up surviving and staying on the lead lap, and Micah and myself were the only guys a lap down, and then there was a few other guys that just rode around that were, I don't know, several laps down, and pretty much everybody else just dropped out. But yeah, it was definitely pretty fast and painful, but I averaged right at 26, so I think the 4 dudes up there, they probably 26 and a half, 27 or so, something like that. So it was definitely one of the faster wheelers that we did. You know, it was, you know, lots of little kind of pauses, and then, you know, lots of really fast riding, you know, now and again. So I kind of drifted back this right here so you can kind of get a pretty good look at everybody that's still up in there. So but yeah, it was fast. And then seemed like once the Padilla brothers got up in there and started taking some pulls, it got pretty hard. They were, you know, kind of on the main straightaway. It was, you know, where everybody's watching, you know, kind of had a north wind, so they were really putting it in the gutter, so it was pretty hard to sit on through there. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I think Evan's up there pulling maybe now. I don't know. It was pretty hard through this, you know, about when we caught those guys, so it was pretty hard going through this portion. All single file and strung out. See Rob and Stefan up there now. I think they pretty much know they're caught at this point. And I don't know. That may have been about the longest, you know, anybody really stayed away. I don't know. Maybe not. Seemed like it. There was a you know, a couple times where there was some splits, but yeah, as soon as they were caught, it was like Andy attacked there, and I don't know, it seemed like it kind of semi-split up here for just a little bit, and then, you know, kind of basically eventually came all back together again. Yeah, trying to... hard to tell when you're racing because the Padilla brothers look pretty much the same from behind, but yeah, they definitely they'd get up there. They'd keep it fast for sure. I don't know, getting back out into the wind. Looks like Rob's attacking up the inside, but it's kind of nice having so many people out because, you know, you could kind of, you know, if you were up towards the front, you know, you just kind of let the group roll by and ease into the acceleration. So it was, I don't know, it was definitely hard, but it seemed, even though the, you know, the riding and stuff was probably faster and more aggressive than normal, there's more people, you got a little bit more of a buffer where you can, you know, have a wheel to jump on and accelerate a little slower to get back up into the mix, and it doesn't quite take as much out of you initially, but over time it definitely starts to add up. Yeah, it's just a lot of it doesn't definitely seem like the most, maybe even this year as far as wheelers with just, it's kind of like an old, like how they were a couple of years ago or so, where we would, you know, everybody would just go out there and it's just kind of a non-stop attack fest, you know, one after the other, and just keep going. If you could survived a few of the attacks in a sweet spot, then you just attack yourself or whatever. So, but yeah, it's kind kind of remind me of some of the older Wheeler, right? You know, the older Wheeler crits, and it's pretty fun. There's a little group up there chasing, and Micah's, you know, kind of struggling to get up on his wheel, but seemed like there was another little point here where there was a little bit of a gap had opened up behind us even too, so but you know, all the generally all the attacks, they always kind of came basically more or less back together, but we would just, you know, eventually start losing guys here or there, and that's pretty much just how it ended up. But you know, essentially you got you know, Andy, Rob, Stefan, and Evan eventually end up just getting, you know, were the four that survived. Julio and Alejandro were in there, but they just, you know, I think they were out there just to get a, you know, kind of bury themselves workout type thing or whatever, and they'd get up there and pull super, super hard for a couple laps, and then eventually they both just kind of just stopped, or, you know, dropped out or whatever. So it seemed like after that, you know, me and Micah we got lapped and kind of rode together with Dustin Smith and Cody. We rode for a little while, and then once we got lapped, you know, me and Micah just jumped back in with the group, and kind of by that point they were still going pretty fast, but there was, I guess, 5 of them at that point, and then you know, one of the other Padilla brothers dropped out, so then it was just those 4, and so it was, you know, still pretty hard, but definitely not quite as animated, and so we just kind of rode with them for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes towards the end. You know, they attacked each other a little bit, but, you know, it was a little easier just having somebody to sit on or whatever. So I basically just recorded the first 25 minutes or so of this, you know, of this Wheeler. Just that's as long as I've stayed on the lead lap, and so then, you know, after that I just shut the camera off. But there was some pretty good, you know, it was still, once we got you know, lapped and got back in the mix, it was, you know, I thought about turning the camera back on for a little bit, because there was some pretty good animated action going on. But, you know, this is, I think there's probably more than plenty in this little video here. So yeah, just kind of non-stop drilling it, and it was generally more faster than it was all grouped together. Looks like I think I'm just about to get dropped here. You know, luckily there's some Micah and Waddell, and, you know, maybe a couple other dudes behind me, so they, you know, I was able to, you know, I'm pretty much struggling, I think, by this point. And yeah, luckily getting just enough draft. You know, you come through this corner here, and you kind of, wind was kind of northeast, so you can get just close enough to right here. You can definitely feel that, you know, if you get close enough, you can definitely feel get a draft coming in. So you can see it's kind of all bunching back together. You get some momentum, you might as well, you know, try to work your way back up in the group. It's stringing out again as soon as I catch up. So, you know, it's like dudes are punching it, Andy's punching it, so just, you know, hanging on by the skin of my teeth at this point. Pretty hard. I think weather-wise, this would be probably be cool to have the wheeler season extended maybe another month, maybe through mid to late September. I don't know, but you can definitely see the shadows are getting, where the shadows are, it's starting to get, sun's going down sooner. So I don't know, I think if they kept it, kept the wheelers going longer, we probably had to, I don't know if we'd be able to go for the full hour or not. We did, this on this one, which was, the last one, but you can kind of, it doesn't seem, super dark here, but, just with the camera, I don't know, I guess with the camera, it kind of, you kind of start going into the sun, it starts to kind of appear like it's getting darker, but I don't know, it seemed like in reality it wasn't, wasn't really too bad, but, yeah, I think, we definitely have probably another good month or so before, the sun starts, the days start to get too short. I think I kind of might have weaseled my way to taking a pull here. Just sitting on, and like I don't know, somebody like Andy maybe just pulled through, Stefan or somebody may have just pulled through. Yeah, didn't really have too much problem with that. And, it's kind of dreading, I'm sitting there in second wheel thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can pull through here at anywhere near this speed we're going right now. But, it all worked out. Wave by from Waddell. The Padilla brothers up front, drilling it, putting it in the gutter. It's pretty much to the point where I was, it's still getting pretty fast, pretty hard, letting some gaps open up and stuff. Kevin's up there drilling it. Almost seemed at this point, there wasn't quite as much maybe attacking, just guys taking some really hard pulls and rotating off, like more or less there. So I don't think anybody's up the road. I think this is pretty much it. So You know, this is generally how a lot of guys will get weeded out. You know, they'll just get the rotation going, keep it real fast, and you know, sometimes it's so fast it's hard just to sit on the wheel in front of you or whatever, you know, much less take a pull. So it's more or less like what I guess happening now, just going real super hard, back in the gutter, almost hitting trying not to get off in the grass, get flat tires or whatever. Yeah, I think this is about the time we're pretty much about to be done. I think Rob's pulling, I think that's Julio, and he, you know, we're already going fast. He kind of takes it up another notch, and I'm like just struggling, you know, at this point to stay on his wheel. So I think I maybe make it a lot. He pulls for a little while, so I think I maybe managed to stay on his wheel for maybe a lap or so, and then I ended up just he just basically rode me off his wheel. Yeah, that's gap of death is opening up, so that's pretty much it for me. I think I might have I don't know, been able to jump on the group maybe for just a bit longer, but yeah, that's basically more or less it. Pretty much did me in at that point, so yeah, already kind of missing the wheelers. Just have to wait till next year, so yep. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, and thanks for watching.